This is a brief video to explain replacing a trigger on a Stihl KM56RC E. And this is the trigger mechanism in here, which you can see the end is snapped off, making it a little bit problematic when you're using it. Right, in terms of instruction to dismantle this whole body comes off in one piece, even though it's made up of two pieces. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 screws to undo. You're going to need you will need a hex, not a hex, a Torx T27 to undo all of them. These four here have got slightly bigger heads, but they still take a T27 Torx head. And for the deeper ones, if you're using a ratchet screwdriver, I would suggest for these two here, which are quite deeply recessed, possibly using one of these, which makes access a bit easier. And here we've got the trigger. This is the engine kill switch. So you just pull that out. Be careful with plastic. There's a little bit of a hook that needs to come out from underneath the top of the side of the trigger. So just move that to one side, and then the trigger itself is just a snap fit, like so. And you can see there's a little return spring which needs to be fitted into the new, and then we undo the throttle cable. So that's the old one, which is broken there. And this is a new one, which comes in two parts with an adjustable throttle cable setting. So it pivots like that. So the throttle cable goes in like so. Before I do that, to take out a piece of the broken there we go, let's got that out. And it's proving to be a bit of a challenge. It's a bit of a push fit. There we go, that's in. Or maybe not. Making a bit of a dog's breakfast of this. Right, there we go. So that's now got the return spring working and the throttle is working. So we can put this back in again. Let's slide that in. Make sure that the two nipples slot into their respective holes, and then just make sure the wiring goes back into the right place so that it doesn't pinch on when we're putting the housing back in again. Right, so there's the old trigger, and that should be that. So everything works nicely now. So the trigger is working the way it should, and the turn is working okay. Right, that's the kill switch. Fine, so we can put it all back together again. First of all, we're going to put the shaft back in. And remember, when you're putting the shaft back in, it'll probably be these two front ones which will hold the position of the handle. So just think about that before you tighten up the bolts at the back end of the housing, so that you don't end up having to Right, here we go. Throttle in, give it a stoke.